Welcome to the Blue Ridge Mountains. This mountain range is not only known for its beautiful scenery and lots of wildlife, to car enthusiasts, this is the mecca of great driving roads. That's why we're here with the Volvo V60. You may think the Volvo V60 is a very beige, premium, and comfortable car for your mother to go get plants at the pottery store. And you'd be absolutely correct. You see, what you're looking at here is a entry-level Volvo V60 T5 Momentum. It's very safe, it's very practical, it's comfortable, and it's a great place to spend time. But this really isn't a car meant for driving enthusiasts. This is the T8 Polestar. It has the same engine as the T5, but with a supercharger. And on top of that, they've added a battery pack and an electric motor to the rear axle. So it's one of the only plug-in hybrids that uses the electric bit for more performance. It has massive brakes, totally adjustable Öhlins suspension, and most importantly, gold seatbelts. How cool is that? And we're here to find out if this is the enthusiast's Volvo. We're in some of the best driving roads in the country, and we're gonna see what the Volvo does when you start pushing it a little bit harder. So to set the car up, I've selected Polestar engineered drive mode. And what this should do is it should calibrate the whole car, the steering, brakes, and the powertrain, so that it feels a little bit more sprightly. And it's geared for enthusiast drivers. I've also selected ESC Sport mode, which doesn't turn off traction control, but it limits its effectiveness. I've also made sure to charge up the battery on the way out here, so we have more than a half a charge. And we're gonna see what happens when we push the Volvo. Also, because the car has totally adjustable suspension, I've put it in the Polestar recommended for performance settings, which I believe is 2 clicks back on the front and 4 clicks back on the rear. So out of, I think, 24 adjustments. So let's turn this thing up a little bit and see how she does. Foot hard down. Well, it's got a lot of power. At 78 miles per hour, it shuts off the rear axle. So right now it's purely front wheel drive. The brakes are bitey though, very bitey brakes. It kind of sounds a little fruity at high RPMs. Like there, it sounds pretty good, but it kind of sounds like a washing machine out the back, just should say a vacuum cleaner. And we're powered down. Okay, initial impression. Suspension calibration is really good. It's compliant enough in this setting, so it's absorbing all these little bumps, but it's allowing for minimal body roll, and it's, wow, pretty good. The braking power is significant. This is weird, it's done this today. When you drive it hard, it thinks there's someone unbuckled in the passenger seat. I don't know why. This is a great section of road. Come on, car. It does this as well, where when you floor it, sometimes there's a little delay to when it gives you full power. I can't quite figure out why that's the case. And right there, see, floored, and now it goes. It could be traction control, but it's doing it on a straight line too. I think the engine gets a little hot, honestly. It's warm out here today. Oh, she corners really nicely. It's great through the transitions. Whoever did the suspension calibration on this car did a fantastic job. Really good job. Join me at our track track. We're back at the out of spec track, and we'll see how the Volvo does. So, setup, we're in Polestar engineered mode. We have ESC set to sport mode. I have buckled the passenger seat because, as you saw in the mountains, when you drive it hard, it thinks someone is in there. This thing is hugely capable. That was about 95 miles an hour through the back S's. The brakes, really good. Look at that lift-off oversteer. So this car is super oversteer heavy when you get off the power. Obviously, it doesn't have a lot of power in the rear axle, so you can't slide it. And ESP does a good job of staying out of your way in sport mode. So, rocketing down the straight, wide open. Let's see what we'll get up to before we hit the brakes. Wow, that 4 or 5 gear shift is really quick. That felt nice. That's about 120 miles an hour. Transmission is the weakest part of this car. Oh, traction control temporarily off, but then it puts itself back on. Same thing it did in the mountains. All right, so you have to go back and click ESC Sport. So how is the wagon? This is not meant for this stuff. How is it driving around the track? Now again, I'm not really pushing it too hard, but we are getting an idea of the dynamics. Well, the engine produces plenty of power, no question. The braking system is really good. The brakes are there. They are never faded. Now the brake pedal doesn't feel like it's connected to the brakes. I think it might be a brake-by-wire, but it doesn't matter. I can modulate them perfectly, and I know exactly what it's doing. Now the steering, it's just you're pointing the car and it's going. There's no feel whatsoever through here. Yeah, look at this thing go. Trying to keep us in line. Oh, back to ESC sport mode. Duck it in. It's trying to stop us from sliding, but I wish you could full disable traction control because it wants to go sideways. This car naturally wants to drift. What a great chassis though. The suspension is the best part about this car. Again, I haven't... Oh. I just, traction control was off and we just blew the front tires off, just spun them wide open back. I guess you cannot keep it in ESC sport mode when the brakes are hot. Okay, what a car. It's not meant for this, but it can do it and it doesn't complain. Everything's still working together. The battery's providing a lot of boost. Gets the power down. The engine's very happy to do this, it feels, and it's warmer out today than it was yesterday in the mountains. Call me impressed. I think, you know, it's not going to be your track weapon, but if you happen to find yourself at your own private racetrack like we are here, and you want to go run a couple laps in the Volvo with your kids in the back or your dog flying around, it is extremely capable at that kind of stuff. So, mountains, check. Track, check, and daily driving, check. This is a 10 out of 10 car. It is not a specialist in any of the categories, but it can do everything more than just fine. It's special. So many enthusiasts give it the thumbs up, and I think I have to buy one. I love it. And if you're interested in learning more about the electric portion of the Volvo T8 Polestar, take a look at my video review on Inside EVs, where we talk more about this car as a daily driver. In the use case, most people will experience this car driving around the city. We do an electric range test, as well as seeing how well the dogs fit inside. So definitely go take a look at that. The link will be in the description.